Comedy Crow back again, and this is going to be the start of a new series I'm going to call Game Fodder. And what this series is going to be is just whatever I want it to be about. I could talk about a little bit about a game or list of games or whatever. But in this case, I want to talk about Batman Arkham City, because I just finished the game. Now, I know this game originally came out in 2011, and this Game of the Year edition actually came out in 2012. But I actually didn't start really playing the game until a month or two ago, and I just kind of finished it, so I kind of just want to talk about it a little bit. So this game is the follow-up to Arkham Asylum, which I bought the Game of the Year edition of that and actually played through that as well. So I knew that when Arkham City came out, I was going to play it eventually. But knowing the way Warner Brothers is with their DLC and everything, I figured, I'm just going to wait for the Game of the Year edition, and it was a good thing I did, because Game of the Year edition came out and it had all the DLC in it and everything. So I wound up getting that. But what's funny is that the original Game of the Year edition, it was the case that everybody made fun of, because in big red text everywhere it had the reviews every 10 out of 10, blah 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 blah. But that was the original Game of the Year edition version. This version is the greatest hits Game of the Year version, and the case is actually a little bit better than what I'm kind of overlaying on the screen right there. Plot-wise, this takes place after Arkham Asylum. It's part of the series. It's going to be the second in a trilogy, I think, with the final being Arkham Knights. Now, this does include the Catwoman Pack, and honestly, I don't know why that was pulled out separately, other than just as a cash grab, because during certain parts of the game, at least the Game of the Year edition, you get to play as Catwoman. In fact, the game starts out you playing as Catwoman and trying to steal some stuff from Two-Face. And intertwined in the story, occasionally Catwoman, you'll take over Catwoman. And even at the end of the game, you're playing as Catwoman. So, and it kind of intersperses, some interaction, like Catwoman rescuing Batman at one point. So I don't know how they could have taken that out of the game and sold it as separate DLC. But it was kind of annoying, because, some points I was just, into playing Batman, and it would kind of force me to play as Catwoman. And she plays very similarly, but she doesn't have all the tools or whatnot. It's kind of a plus and a negative on that end. Plot-wise, Bruce Wayne gets thrown into Arkham City. And Arkham City is actually a sectioned off part of Gotham City where all the inmates are going. It's kind of like they turned part of Gotham City into this giant open-air prison. But as soon as Bruce Wayne gets into Arkham City, he gets Alfred to send him a bat suit. He becomes Batman, and that's where you pretty much take over and start doing stuff in the game. Let's get into who's in the game. There's actually a big, long list of villains and characters in the game. Now, villain-wise, totally the major antagonist of the game is the Joker and Harley Quinn, even though Hugo Strange is the one running Arkham City. I mean, the Joker really takes over the entire game. Now, the Joker was pretty much the main antagonist in Arkham Asylum, and it was kind of surprising to see they made him kind of a main antagonist in this game, too. In fact, the reason he's the main antagonist is because of the outcome on Arkham Asylum, and I guess that was a pretty good, story connection as to, what's been going on with the Joker. Hugo Strange, the Penguin, Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, Ra's al Ghul, Solomon Grundy, and Clayface. Now, Clayface was a complete surprise to me, as well as Solomon Grundy. I wasn't expecting to see him in the game. But these are all people you have to face in order to complete the main objective of the game. Now, for the side missions, one of the first ones is Poison Ivy, but that's part of the Catwoman Pack. So if you're playing the main game, I think you have to face Poison Ivy. But if you don't have that pack, I guess Poison Ivy just doesn't appear in the game at all. Now there's Victor Zsasz, who actually taunts you throughout the game with ringing phones, and you kind of have to trace his location and catch up with him. So I thought that was a pretty cool side mission, and I had to do that one. I actually inadvertently ran across Mad Hatter. I thought that was kind of cool how put Mad Hatter in the game. And actually, his beating him was pretty cool because he kind of puts on a mask. And it's funny with the Batman with the mask on that Mad Hatter gives him. It reminds me totally of Frank from Donnie Darko. And the whole level where you're fighting the Mad Hatter's goons is pretty awesome as well. So I'm glad I hit that. And then there's Bane. And Bane shows up in the game not really as a villain. Not really at all. You're out to help him contain and destroy the Titan barrels that are scattered throughout Arkham City. Titan is the formula that turns Bane into the muscular guy that he is in the comic book, and you're trying to prevent anybody else from using that. There's also a major plot point in Arkham Asylum, so I thought it was a good tie-in there. Then there's Deadshot, who you have to track down and using your detective skills. So there's not really a major fight there, but it was good that there was a whole side mission almost totally dedicated to using your detective skills. And then Riddler is all throughout the game. Now, there's Riddler stuff all over the place, just like Arkham Asylum. And there was no way I was going to do all the Riddler stuff. Because the only way I would have done that is by going through a walkthrough one at a time, finding all the Riddler, secret stuff and question marks, and picking them all up that way. I mean, some of them you can see and you don't know, you have to figure out how to get them. And some of them are... What's really cool is that there are Riddler goons hidden throughout the city, and they're kind of highlighted green. So if you're fighting a bunch of guys, you save that guy for last and then interrogate him, and he kind of points out on the map where Riddler stuff is. There's also these Riddler death traps I thought was pretty cool. Riddler, for not being a major part of the game, shows up in the game a lot. He's all over the place. One glaring omission from the entire game was Scarecrow. Scarecrow was not in there at all. He's a pretty major part of Arkham Asylum, so it was kind of funny that you really didn't see him at all, or even talked about at all during the entire game. So that's all the characters I could think of. I'm sure I might have missed a couple, but just off the top of my head, that's who I thought of. The gameplay is pretty cool, because Arkham City is just one big giant open area, and it's kind of cool to fly around. And you got the goons walking around the city, and later on in the game they get guns. So if to make things harder, you as you're flying around, you might fly over some of these guys that are just trying to take pot shots at you. Now combat, you could do it one or two ways. You kind of sneak around and try and pick off your guys one at a time, or you could just jump into the middle of the action and do this free float combat thing. It really depends on how you want to tackle that. Really depends on what kind of weapons that those characters have. If they've got guns, if everybody's got guns, you kind of want to just sneak around and take them off one at a time without them noticing. But then you got the actual combat, and they got this, like I said, free flow combat system, which looks really cool on screen, but I really never felt I had that much control over it. I mean, I'm the kind of person that was like, oh, punch, 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 hit button, hit button, hit button, and you can't really do that and have total control of the game, but it's the way I just panicked. Hit him, and I just was like hoping, like, okay, go hit that guy, Batman. Oh, now dodge that guy's knife. So, yeah, I mean, I was kind of getting the hang of it, because it felt like I was getting kind of control of what Batman was doing, but again, there's just some instances where Batman was just flying all over the place and seemed to be doing whatever he wanted. Again, it just might be me not controlling him correctly. But the really interesting thing, and I thought was really cool, was like, say you defeat a guy with a taser, some other random guy could pick up that taser and start using it. So that's pretty interesting. Another thing I thought was pretty funny was the fact that whatever major villain you were going up against, if you failed the mission, if you died, then the villain would come out and taunt you. So as for extras in the game, there were extra Bat costumes that were actually included as part of the Game of Year edition. At least in the PlayStation 3 version, there were 8 extra costumes. Now, they all look pretty cool, but I have to say that the Batman animated costume totally looks out of place. More out of place than all of the other costumes. Just because of the cartoony look. And when he's talking to people, those people kind of look realistic, and then they look like they're talking to a cartoon. So that's actually kind of funny, kind of amusing at the same time. On top of that, if you want to add the cheat that lets everybody have big heads, then you've got one weird, goofy game going on then, and that was kind of funny to do as well. Another DLC thing that was included as part of the game that I actually did was the Harley Quinn's Revenge. So after the game ends, I'm not going to spoil what happens at the end of the game, even though everybody probably already knows. There's a little side story with Harley Quinn and Batman going after her, and Batman kind of being taken out of commission, and Robin taking over. So it's kind of like this the story where you're playing like half as Robin and half as Batman. Now, the whole DLC is not that long. In fact, I was able to beat it in one sitting. And that's not really normal for someone like me. So maybe it was like 2 hours long. But the asking price of the DLC is like $9.99 or $10 or something like that. And for what that content is, it doesn't feel like it's worth that much. Feels like it should be much cheaper. But again, if you get the Game of the Year edition, it's included as part of that. Also, additional DLC content was the challenge map stuff. And I'm just not really interested in challenge map stuff. I don't think there's any story there, and I'm kind of interested in the story. So if there's no story there, it's just for gameplay. I don't really know if I want to invest more time into the game. So that's Batman Arkham City. This game is done. It's going on my shelf. And who knows what kind of video I'll be doing next. Thanks everyone for watching. See you all next time. Bye. Hello, Buddy Crow, back again, and this is the start of a new series I'm going to call Game Fodder, and it's just going to be whatever I want it to be. Whether or not I want to talk about a little bit in depth about a game, or it could just be a list of games or something, I don't know, it'd be whatever I want it to be, and the air conditioner just turned on, so I'm going to have to fucking turn that off.